What's going on, guys? Seb here. How you doing? If you've just got onto this Hangout, we're going to start in about 5 minutes. So just want to say hi to everyone. If you got on here early, then thank you so much. You're going to learn a lot tonight, a lot about Facebook marketing and attracting people on Facebook. So, perhaps if you're new to Facebook or if you're new to internet marketing, or maybe you're here, you just want to see what I'm doing in terms of, how I've got a lot of exposure and, stuff like that, then I'm really going to give you a lot of insight. I can't cover everything tonight, but I'm going to do my best to squeeze it in under an hour, something like that. So, uh, okay, I'll touch base with you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay, hi everyone. We've got about a minute left, so I'm just going to wait for some more people to jump on. Probably going to go just a few minutes after past, just to make sure more people are on here. I can just see someone else who just jumped on now, so I'm going to give everyone just a couple more minutes just to make their way here. Okay, hi guys. It's 1/2 past now. Someone's saying they're clicking, but nothing's happening. Can you at least hear me, if anything else? Because someone just sort of messaged me, or Tanya's just Tanya's just commented here. Tanya, can you hear me? Um, Hold on a sec, guys. Oh, we've had more people come on. If you can hear me, I think there's a. To be honest, I've not used Hangouts in a while, but there should be a chat box somewhere. If you can just type something, and we'll take it from there. Okay, hi guys. Not sure if you can hear me. Second, guys. Okay, I think there might be a kind of a lag or something. Um, I think I might have mucked up the start, but okay, I think I know what I might have done. I think I started it like too early, so um, I think probably best thing for me is just to carry on, because I think what's happened is there's been like a 3 minute delay or something. So if you, if you're hearing this now, hmm, it's just a page, right? Sorry guys, I'll sort this out quickly. Okay. Jamie can hear me. Okay, sorry guys. I've not done Hangouts in so long, so I'm pretty embarrassed. I'll get the camera on anyway. It's a bit dark, but hope you're all doing well. So if you're watching this, like I said, maybe you're just doing Facebook marketing now, and you're probably in a network marketing company. You know, maybe you're in an internet-based business. Maybe it's not network marketing, but at the end of the day, if what you're trying to do is recruit people or sell a product, then this is something that genuinely is going to help you. Okay, so you know, as you saw the title of the Hangout, this is how a 21-year-old UK kid managed to bring 2 people into his business in a week. So that's what I want to help you achieve. Now, I'm just going to let you know results are not typical. So if you're watching this and you're assuming you're going to get 2 sign-ups in a week, it's not typical. Okay, because what works for me may not necessarily work for you, but I know you're going to get some value from watching this. What I've learned is what is absorbed from a lot of trainings I've been through. I've purchased a lot of products in Facebook marketing. I've gone to a lot of seminars, so I've actually learned a lot and compiled it in a way which is more simple. It's simple to learn and simple to do. So that's what I want to help you with today. Okay, so I just want to go through very quickly sort of my story. Okay, so I got started in the industry about 4 years ago. I was about 17 years old. I'd originally read Think and Grow Rich when I was 15, and I saw the potential of passive income, and I saw that there are smarter ways of making money than just working at a job. But I didn't realize what there was out there. I didn't have a mentor, and I didn't really know where to start. So I did what most people would do and just went to the internet. I just typed in how to make money online, home business, whatever whatever you can think of in terms of trying things to make money. I did everything. I tried doing online surveys. I tried doing ClickBank, various different affiliate offers. I did tons of stuff, and I just struggled, because I had no mentor. No one showed me the way. I didn't know where to focus. I didn't know how to focus. I really was stuck for, I spent about 4 years like that. And, there were times within those 4 years that I would kind of just, drop out of the industry of internet marketing because I just wasn't sure what was going on really. And I'm sure you can relate if you're watching this. I'm sure that you've got to a point where you're not sure what's going on. You're not sure why you're doing this, or maybe you're doing it while you're doing this, but you're not sure why results aren't coming yet. So, I understand your frustration. If you're at a point where your business has kind of come to a halt, but you've been putting in all this work, it could be that you need a slight tweak in your strategy, and that's really why I'm here, is just to help you achieve that. So imagine this for your business. Imagine getting 2 signups a week. Imagine that. 2 signups a week, and it's 8 a month. You'd be in profit surely. So even if you got 1 a week, even if you're getting 4 a month, then that's actually better than most network marketers out there. Most people will join a business. People are funny. They'll pay thousands of dollars to join a business, and they'll never do anything, or they'll never make their money back or anything like that. So I'm rambling here, but anyway, my point is that this information is going to help you. So I'm just going to quickly jump over to my. Thank you guys for the love. I'm just going to jump over to my page here. So I just want to talk a bit more about. So I should probably share my screen. That would help. What am I doing? Let's do that. Okay, so you can all see my screen here. Fantastic. So just before I talk about what I'm doing with Facebook and my profile and how I set it up, I want to talk a little bit about why I chose Facebook, okay, and why it's so powerful. The reason why I chose Facebook is pretty much because I tried everything else. I really had tried everything. I tried with business cards. Tried leaving those on trains. I'd tried all sorts of crazy stuff. I'd tried different marketing strategies. I didn't have a warm, I didn't have a good warm market. My friends and family, I'd kind of burnt them out with so many different business opportunities that for me to go and approach them with another one really was definitely not feasible. Okay, so I really didn't have many options, and like I said, I didn't have a mentor or anyone to guide me. I had to do everything through trial and error. 4 years of trial and error, and a lot of people won't do that. A lot of people are not willing to put up with it for that long to get no results in order to finally break through and achieve something. Okay, so really the reason why I ended up on Facebook is just through chance, really. The main reasons why I use it though is because you can personalize it so much. Okay, it's very popular, it's free, it's easy to use. Everyone's here. There's over 1 billion accounts. You could talk to people 24/7 on here, messaging people all day long for the rest of time, and you'd never get through half the people on here. There are thousands upon thousands of people hungry for what you're doing. I don't care what business you're doing. People are hungry for what you've got to offer. Okay, and Facebook is the place to find it, but there are some things that you should not do on Facebook. So I just want to cover on my profile here exactly what I'm doing. So I signed up for Facebook about 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, but I didn't get serious with it until about February/March. I think March is when I really got serious with Facebook, and I really saw the potential behind it. And when I actually saw it as not just a place where I can occasionally drop in and chat to a few people, but as an actual a vehicle to, to drive me in the direction of sponsoring people, as a vehicle to generate leads, and as a vehicle to sponsor people into my business. So, when I realized that potential, I was definitely shocked. I thought, wow, how, you can use Facebook to sponsor people. It's crazy. So with that being said, I've done a lot of talking, so I'm actually going to show you what I've been doing on Facebook in terms of setting up my profile. So I'm just going to start really from the top of my profile. So as you can see here, this is a picture of me and Jonathan Budd. I went to an event in Dallas, Texas. That was in October 2012. So, you can see here, I'm here with Jonathan Budd. He's like an 8-figure earner in the industry. And the reason why I set this as my cover photo is, if you have a picture next to an 8-figure earner, that really stands out. Not many people have a picture next to Jonathan Budd, because not many people go to events. Let's be honest. Not many people mingle with 8-figure earners. So it really positions me as an expert when if I have these photos out there and in the open. If I really promote the fact that that I am mingling with these top earners, people notice that, and you really stand apart from everyone else. People know you're serious. They know you're serious if you're at events. Okay, I forgot to tell you guys to get a pen and paper, because you're going to need to write some of this stuff down, because it's taken me a while to learn. So for you to actually get this all in one go is very powerful. So have a picture like this. If you don't have a picture with a top earner or with anyone like that, a good cover photo would be a picture with you and your team having fun, or a picture with you and your family having fun. But you should always be smiling in it. It should be a clear picture. It should be obvious that it's you in the picture. Smiling and you being happy and having fun is the main thing, because people want to be in on something that's fun. People don't want to feel left out. Okay, they want to feel included, and when you have a picture of you smiling and you having fun, they want to be a part of that. They really do. So that's what I'd recommend. Another thing as well, when you're uploading pictures, if you check out here on the right hand side, I actually have a link here to one of my websites, and I have some contact information. And I learned this from Kai Lo. Okay, if you don't know who Kai Lo is, look him up on Facebook. A lot of you have probably heard of him. Look Kai up on Facebook and see what he's about. I just had my water there. But so this is a really good strategy. That means that every single picture you upload, you have a link to your website on, so you're pretty much monetizing your internet real estate in terms of when you upload a picture. People usually just leave a blank space, but I actually fill it with my contact information. You want to be transparent about who you are. You want to be contactable, and you want to be as real as possible. So that's what this is all about here. So let me just shoot that down. Okay. So that's what I do for the cover photo. Profile picture is similar. You want to be as obvious as you and smiling in it. So the other thing as well, if you notice down the chat on the right hand side, this is where the pictures pop up. So you want to try and get the picture to fit this box as much as possible, so that it pops up in here so people can see it's you. Okay, now the about section. Okay, I've done this in a specific way. Okay, so you can see I've put top-notch crazy Brit. And the reason why I've done that is because so many people put a generic title. They say network marketer or entrepreneur. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's so overused, and it's just generic. It's just not interesting to me. That's just my opinion. I've just seen it so many times. But when they see top-notch crazy Brit, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but it's intriguing. You think, well, okay, that's funny, but what does he actually do? And then I've had a lot of people just inbox me and say, I saw your job title, it made me laugh, but what do you actually do? And then you can talk about it there. The reason why is because you want to get people asking you about what you're doing, asking you about your business, asking you just about your life. When people are coming to you, that's what we call attraction marketing. And that's when I actually put something like top-notch crazy Brit, I do this on purpose because it brings people to me. It intrigues them. People are curious, and so I take advantage of that by provoking their curiosity. Okay, so I have followed by button as well. That's quite important. If you don't have the follow button, go into your settings and get that. That's quite easy to do, and of course where you live. So I'm just going to scroll down. I mean, I'm getting good exposure and good interaction on these posts. Like this is one I put out 2 hours ago. It's not doing too badly. It's got through about 20 comments, 11 likes, but down here there's probably about, as you can see, 30 comments, 35 likes, and the status here only took me about 2 minutes to write. So you know, I'm really getting some good exposure. Again, it does kind of vary, and you want to vary your post as much as possible. So I'm just trying to find a good example of some good interaction. So as you can see, this picture here was me having a pizza and my alcoholic ginger beer that I'm so fond of. That got a lot of exposure too, 60, like 70 likes and about 33, 34, 30 something comments. Okay, so good interaction. Okay, I'm just trying to find that's a good one as well. It took like 5 seconds to write that. Okay, crazy, absolutely crazy. So, but this is one here. This is a really good one. Like 110 likes. You know, manually clear out my friends list, removing so many profiles where it's obvious people have just given up. Don't be that guy, girl who gives up just before a big breakthrough that could change everything. So I'm getting a lot of exposure, a lot of interaction. Okay, that's another good example. 48 likes. I'm just sort of skimming through. This is one that I really, what I'm trying to show you is the more you pour your heart and soul into a post, and the more you show that you care about people, the more that's going to get interactions. You can see 111, 100, over 100 likes, 91 comments. It's phenomenal. You know, it really is powerful. When I was Facebooking back in March, yeah, they can hear me. Sorry. 7. Sorry, I thought they were having trouble there. Anyways, since I was Facebooking. When I started Facebooking back in March, these results were, I was nowhere near this when I was trying to build my business. I really struggled to get this kind of interaction. So you're probably wondering how I what changed for you? What got me that extra interaction? It's very simple. It's very simple. All I did was I just started talking to more people. I really hit into people's inboxes. I messaged them. I just said to them, hey, how are you doing? What's up? What's new? How's your weekend going? Nothing pitchy, nothing spammy, nothing like that at all. I would just come and just get to know them. And the other crazy thing is, I used to have 1,380 friends, so I've actually got rid of about 300 friends over the space of about a week or so. And as I was getting through those friends, as I was deleting the 300 friends, my interaction actually went up. I actually got more interaction with less friends. You can see I don't have many friends. Most people have over 5,000 friends, and they don't have anywhere near that much interaction. So what's different for me is I inbox a lot of people. I spend probably about 80% of my time in my inbox. Like I'll just quickly show you. I have 34 unread messages, and I've been doing a lot of replying to people's messages today. Okay, so inboxing people is probably like I said, 80% of what you need to do with your business. Okay, really is inboxing people is going to be a crucial thing. Okay, but it's not just inboxing people, it's also getting to a point where you talk to them on the phone. Okay, so let's do it from start to finish. What I would do is I'd find that person on Facebook. I'm going to cover how to find people quite shortly, but I'd find that person and say, hey, how's it going? I'd pick out something on their profile. I'd say, if they lived in Wisconsin, I'd say, hey John, how's it going? Saw your profile. I can see we look about the same age. I'd find something in common with them. Or if you've both read the book Think and Grow Rich, you can say, I can see you read Think and Grow Rich, phenomenal book. It got me started as an entrepreneur when I was 15. And then you can say, we should definitely touch base. How long you lived in Wisconsin, or something like that. That's how I would connect with people, and that's how I'd talk to them. I had a lot of people ask me, how do you talk to people? What script do you use? What do you ask? You have to have it as flowing as possible when you talk to people. You do that because it's like if you had a real life conversation with someone. It's just like if you had a conversation with a friend. Okay, so that's how you need to treat your business. Okay, but what's going to help you to to make yourself stand out as a leader is your profile. Okay, so like I said, everything here is branding me. So just going back to the profile, I'll cover friends and talking to people quite shortly, but I see a lot of people putting pictures of their company up, and that's just not what people want to. People don't want to look at that. They want to know about you and what you're doing. Okay, and like I said, something which something which really gets the best interaction on your status is going to be writing something. It's got to be inspiring. It's got to be, maybe it's some training that you're giving away, some value. But where a lot of people miss the boat, okay, what a lot of people don't understand is they want to share everyone else's content. They don't want to generate their own. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to generate your own content for the most part. Okay, and the reason why is because you need to be branded as a leader, and that's exactly what I've done to get a lot of exposure. I've shared some personal stuff about me. I've done that quite a lot. I probably do it about once a week. I share like a personal story of mine, and I share about how that story has helped me to learn some things, and I always try and relate it back to being an entrepreneur and relating it back to freedom and my vision, everything like that. And that really resonates with people. So that's a really powerful thing to do, is always write about you and always make it inspiring. Give away some value, give away something that's going to help them in their business. Never ask for anything in return. Always give away value on your status posts, and people love that. And like I said, try and mix it up. Try and post pictures, videos if you fancy doing videos. I'm going to cover videos in another webinar, but always try and post different things. But text-based ones, for me, like these, are the best ones, in terms of exposure and in terms of interaction. So another thing you need to do within your status, if you're writing a killer status like this, is reply back to people. Okay, so, and this is how you do it. You just type their names. So you say, this is how you do it. You put the @ sign and you put their name. Okay, and if you press the backspace on your keyboard, then it brings it back to the first name. And then you can see there's a little hyperlink to their name. Do you see how that works? So it's more personal when you have just the first name there. Okay. So I've just very quickly covered the basics of how to set up your profile and how to make it look appealing to people and how do you brand yourself as a leader. But the statuses I hope I've covered in a lot of depth as well, because that's how you're going to get a lot of people interested in you. That people are going to come over to your profile, scroll down and see what you've posted. Okay, so that's quite important. Okay, and when people say, well, what do you post about? You can post about anything. Lifestyle pictures are good. Like you can see, there's a few pictures as me and Jess Higdon at an event, me and Ray Higdon at an event, me with some food. There's pictures of me at the park. Always try and mix it up and try and keep your readers on their toes, and try and keep Facebook on their toes as well. So that's really what is going to help you. Okay. I can see I've got 10 viewers on here. That's pretty cool. So now I've actually covered what to do on your profile. What do you do on other people's profiles? Well, let's quickly cover that. Okay. So one thing you can do on other people's profiles. So let's say someone leaves you a nice comment on your profile. Here's what you can do with people. You can come over to Shah's profile. Shah's a great guy, and you can do a lot of things. You can obviously like and comment on his stuff, but if he's really someone who you get a lot of value from, or maybe he's someone who you feel someone who you just connect with and someone who you really get on with, then you can actually click here where it says friends and click get notifications. I already do this for this guy because he's awesome, but what this will do is another pop-up will come up here, and so when Shah posts the new status, it'll come up here straight away. And what this means is you can straight away come over to someone's profile as soon as they've posted the status. You can come over and just like it and comment it like I'm doing. Okay, so that's a really powerful thing to do on Facebook that a lot of people don't know about. Okay, so that's a good way of doing it as well. That's a good way of interacting with people as well. Okay, now the problem with the newsfeed. Okay, a lot of people say, well, you know, can you find people in the newsfeed to interact with? You can, but I find that the newsfeed is not always high quality. You can see here, you can see here what I mean, which is good because it means you can find people who, I mean, this guy I'm probably just going to unfriend because, you know, it's good because it sort of filters out people, but it's bad in the sense that if you're just looking to connect with people, then you know there's not always high quality posts on Facebook on the newsfeed, unfortunately. So you know, I don't spend a lot of time on here. Okay, so you know, I'm just going to jump back over to my profile because I want to explain a little bit about finding some friends, because a lot of you watching this, you maybe don't have 1,000 friends. You're saying, well, okay, Seb, so I've got my profile set up correctly. You know, I've got a picture of me in the profile picture. I've got a great cover photo, and I'm starting to post statuses about me and what I'm doing with my life. You know, posting statuses, stories about me. How do I find people? Okay, I'm going to show you very quickly a great way to find people. So I'm just going to type in Kiyosaki. Okay, a great place to find people is Robert Kiyosaki. You know, think of anyone else. You know, Brian Tracy. Think of some personal development type people who you would follow, and what you want to be doing is, again, you can click notifications here, which is what I've done, and if you go over to the status posts, and you can see there's a lot of interaction here. There's tons of it. Okay, and your friends posts will always come at the top here, but you can actually scroll down and you can see some phenomenal comments on here. You know, you can see what's going on here. So Jermaine's just posted something saying Colonel Sanders' chicken recipe was rejected over 1,000 times and he wasn't able to open his first Kentucky Fried Chicken until he was in his 60s. FAIL only stands for first attempt in learning. So this is what I do to find people now. Some of the highest quality people I have found have been through fan pages like Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, so I've clicked like here. And by the way, I'm sharing with you a phenomenal tip, which I haven't seen anyone do yet. So this is really a powerful thing that I've been using. Okay, and this only actually works if you have a mutual friend with them, which it looks like I do. So I'm just going to reply to Jermaine here and say, hang up something on the spot here. You have to type out their surname with this as well if they're not a mutual friend, and it comes up here. Hey man, essentially this is doesn't really make much sense, but it's all good though, because what we're basically doing is connecting with Jermaine. You know, the comment doesn't have to be, you know, it can just be like, great stuff, man. You know, you've done awesome, or it can be something. You know, you don't have to. The important thing is if you tag their name in it. Okay. The reason why you want to tag people's name in it, if you can, is because it actually shows up here and it says your name has tagged you in a post. And then they'll click on that. They'll click on that notification, and they'll see this post here. Okay. What I would also do, I'd come onto this guy's profile. And if they have the follow button here, which he doesn't, I would click follow, and I'd go down, and if possible, again, he doesn't have the like button, but I would start liking his posts. You know, I would start doing that. Okay, and then I would message him. So that's what we're going to do here. I can type. Standards. So just have my water there. So your post. Your mentality about embracing failure in order to face how's your weekend go? Okay, so very simple. And if you notice that I said what's up man, you know, I don't say what's up. If you can say what's up bro, what's up bud, what's up dude, then you know, if you can make it colloquial, if it's appropriate, again, people connect a lot with that as well. So I'll just quickly go back, but this is what I've just given you is a phenomenal resource. You can connect with, I mean, there's hundreds of comments just on this page alone. Okay, but you can just come and you can find red hot people, red hot leads for your business, people who are already interested in, you know, bettering themselves, people who are probably entrepreneurs, and you know, I feel a good target market for your business are other network marketers. And you can kind of disagree with this, but the reason why I say that is because they already know, they know the industry, they know compensation plans, you know, and so many network marketers out there are failing. So many are failing. You know, they don't have the upline support, they don't have training, you know, they don't have a system to plug people into in their business. They are just struggling. And if you can come along and say, well, you know, would you be open to taking a look at a new business, and then you share with them the strategy I've just given to you to find people all over Facebook, they're going to be blown away. Okay, and this strategy, I mean, I only spend about, I mean, within a space of about an hour, I could probably easily contact 20 people. So this is a powerful strategy I'm just sharing with you right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just pop over to my profile very quickly. And again, I'm going to be what I haven't covered yet is how I actually managed to recruit the 2 people into my business. So, okay, let's start from the top again. So you've got your profile here, you've got everything set up. So you've positioned everything. So you've got a good cover photo, profile picture. You know, you have all your information listed here. You know, you've attracted these people. So let's say you have this great profile that I've just told you how to do. Make it all about you, make it personal to you, make sure you're happy in your pictures, and then you go on to the fan pages, and let's say you message these people and then they message back. Where do you go from there? Now, again, you always talk to them like you're talking to a friend. Okay, that's an important thing. A lot of people in network marketing are very skeptical of the first message you send. So the first impression is really going to count. If you just send that message like I did and just said, how's your weekend going, or you know, how's life in Ohio if they live in Ohio, or something like that, if you just start off with the warm and fuzzy, people are going to lower their guard. You know, they really are going to be able to just connect with you. They're going to see what you're doing, and they're just going to be they're going to see you stand out from all the other spammers and marketers out there. Okay, so do you see how this works? That's where the attraction marketing thing comes in, because I don't have anything about my business on my profile, and I do that intentionally because then they begin to ask me about my business. Okay, and that's when I begin to tell them what I'm doing. Okay, so what I will do is I will chat to people and I will just have a casual conversation. And I say, well, you know, what do you do for fun? Are you married? If there's something on their profile, if it's obvious they have kids, and then just point out, just say, well, how old are your kids, or how long have you been married? And to be honest with you, I haven't mentioned this. I didn't mention this earlier, and I probably should have. But you want to only find people who are like you. So if you're like me, you're a 21-year-old young lad. You want to try and find other people who are similar to you. Okay, you want to find people you can relate to the most. So if you're watching this, if you're a 40-year-old woman, go and find other 40-year-old women. Or about that sort of age range. It's got to be people who you're going to relate with. Okay, people who are similar to you. Okay, so if you have a family, if you're a family man, a family woman, again, find those kind of people, because you already have common ground before you even start talking, and that's pretty powerful. You need to write that down. You have common, make sure there's always a common ground if possible. Otherwise, you're having to establish that before you get into more conversations. It just saves time if you have common ground from the start, and you could determine that from their profile if they have enough information. So I'm hoping you guys are getting some value from this. I'm just going to write in here. I'm just going to try out something here. I'm going to ask a question. I'm trying to think what to ask. I want to make this interactive for you guys. I'm trying to think something here. I'll just start again. How do you use I'm just kind of intrigued to see what people are doing with Facebook to build their business. Okay, so anyway, while that's happening, I'm just going to cover what to do when you're talking to people. So once you've started talking about the warm and fuzzy, once you've actually got to know them as a person and you've not mentioned the business at all, obviously it comes to the point where you talk about what do you do. So then you can obviously say, well, I help people to quit their jobs and stuff like that, or you can think of something to come up with. What I like to say to people is I help people to do what I do on Facebook, and they're intrigued. They say, well, what do you do on Facebook? And I say I help people to get more exposure to their brand and their business through attraction marketing. And they say, wow, that's interesting. I've had people say that to me, so it needs to be something like that. Okay, so when it comes to talking about their business, what you need to do is focus on them. Focus on whether there's a problem in their life that you can solve. Whether it's your product, whether it's they're struggling in a business that they need to start over and they want to they need to start a new business. Whatever the problem is in their life, whether they're lacking money, if their strategy is not right in their business, you have to see if there's a need. And you have to find out if they're open, because the reality is a lot of people are, they have a need, but they're not open. So don't waste time with people who are not open to what you're doing. That's an important thing. You want to make sure there is a need, but also that they're open. Okay, so how you do this is just have the conversation with them. Just ask them what they're doing in their business. Say, well, which company are you in? You say, great. Okay, well, how long have you done it for? Is it your first network marketing company? Why did you decide to start a business in the first place? What did you do before? And every question you ask has to be a fact-finding question. Every question you ask has to lead to some sort of piece of information that you have to use as a pre-qualifying question. You have to kind of be like a detective and ask detective-like questions, which help you to determine whether that person is really going to be a fit for you or not. Whether you you guys are both going to connect or not. That's what you use the questions for. Okay, so okay, let's say you're going through that conversation, you're talking with them, and how do you find that need though? How do you find out whether there is a need or not? What I like to do is ask them what they're doing to grow their business. You say, well, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where do you find your leads? What are you doing to get exposure? So, oops, exposure, sorry, I had a technical difficulty there. So, how do you, ask them what they do, what they do to get exposure for their business? Just ask them where they're generating leads. Are they doing what I used to do? Are they handing out flyers? Are they leaving business cards on trains? Are they trying to pitch friends and family about a business? What are they doing to get leads? Okay, and then just ask them if they've had good results with it. And a lot of the time they say no. They say no. I'm struggling. If rapport has been built because you're asking them those questions about them, if rapport has been built, then they will tell you what's wrong with them. They'll tell you the struggles. People will just pour out their heart to you because they trust you, because you took the time to get to know them. They see you as a friend, and when you ask these questions, they're happy to tell you because that rapport has been built. So if they say, well, I've been struggling with the business, and if they say, well, I've tried to generate leads, I've been doing this for a year, going to hotel meetings is not working out for me. And you say, okay, well, what sort of goals do you have in the business? What are you looking to actually achieve with it? If they say, well, I'm looking to make $1,000 a month in 6 months' time. You say, okay, so is what you're currently doing now something that's going to get you there? And they say, well, no, it's not. Okay, and the reason why you do that is you have to highlight their pain. You have to actually say, well, you have to bring them back round to the reality that what they're doing isn't working. Okay, you have to push on the pain. It's like if there's a wound, you have to press on the wound. I think is I don't know if that's an expression or not, but that's really what you have to do. You have to see, highlight their pain to them, make them realize that actually, look, dude, what you're doing is not working. It's really not. And it's okay that it's not working because no one's shown you the way. But if you say, well, if there was a way that you could recruit people easier, if there was an easier way to generate leads, how would that change things for you? You have to paint a picture to them. You have to just say to them, well, if there was a way, if there was an alternative, if there was something else you could do, how would your life be different? And they say, well, oh wow, get them dreaming again, because a lot of people they're just stuck. They're stuck doing what they're doing, and no one's really actually said, well, what are you trying to do in your business, and is what you're doing gonna get you there? Sorry, I've got a message here. Okay, it's being recorded if you guys are having difficulties, but anyway. So once you've actually said to them, well, I have a solution, this is what you say to them. You say, well, would you be open to taking a look at what I do? Okay. Well, you'd frame it a bit differently. This is what I would say. I'd say, well, based on what you told me, John, whatever his or her name is, based on what you've told me, I feel like you might want to take a look at what I'm doing. We've actually helped a lot of people in your situation, so I was wondering if you'd be open to taking a look at a 10-minute presentation that we've got. If not, no big deal. Do you see how the posturing comes into place there? You're not just blasting your business. You're saying to them, actually, I'm listening to you. I listen. I'm listening to your concerns, and honestly, we can help you. That's what you're saying to me. You say, would you be open? You have to say open and not interested. I learned this from Ray Higdon. It's a very powerful word. When you say, are you open to taking a look? When you say, are you interested? Are you interested in taking a look? if someone's interested in something, they're more tied to it than they are to open to it. You know, if someone's open to the idea rather than interested in the idea, there's a significant difference in the language. But if you say, would you be open to taking a look at another business that didn't have those obstacles, or another business where again, highlight problem, say another business where you didn't have those obstacles, or something like that, to that effect. Okay, you always have to highlight the pain, but then have a way to remedy it. You can't just highlight the pain and then not remedy it, or you can't just say I have a solution without even finding their pain. And they have to realize the pain. And it sounds harsh, and it sounds like sorry, got distracted there. Yeah. So it sounds like something that you should, it sounds like a negative thing when you're highlighting someone's pain, but really what you're doing is helping them. You are helping them because you have a solution. At the end of the day, you can say, well, okay, in this current business, you don't have. You say to them, well, what's the alternative? The alternative is, if you don't get started with us, you stay in this business you're in. You say your upline doesn't support you. You don't have any team support. There's no system to plug people into when they get started, and you're not making any money. You're not getting results. Whereas if you take a look at what I'm doing, we can help you. Facebook training. We have tools, systems here that are going to benefit you. You don't say that, but you have to transmute that to them. Okay, just let them know that there is actually a better option, that they don't have to keep bashing their head against the wall, that you have a solution to their problem. So that's literally all I did to sponsor 2 people in a week. Is I have my Facebook profile. Okay, I have about 1,000 friends. So I did what I showed you there. I mean, I did use other methods to add friends. I did look in other places, but I've just given you the best, the highest quality place to look to add people is fan pages. Groups are okay, but fan pages, especially the Robert Kiyosaki ones, if you have a look at people who are leaving the comments that I showed you earlier, you see the quality, the high quality of the comments there is absolutely phenomenal. If you can tell whether that person is going to be a good candidate for what you're doing. You can already tell if they're qualified. You can almost always tell just from the status that they're writing, So that's a really great way to find people. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it all together for you, because I feel like I've just sort of thrown this at you, but not found a way to. I'm just going to try and flip back to me. Okay, I'm back on camera. So I feel like I've just given you all that information, but haven't really tied it all together. So that's what I'm going to do now. Thank you for the 11 people who are staying on, by the way. Really appreciate it. I know I've been on this for a while. Anyway, so how do we tie this all together? Well, we have this profile set up. So you have everything branded about you. There's nothing about your company. It's okay to have pictures with you and your team, and it's okay to talk about your company every now and then. There's nothing wrong. I mean, be passionate about what you're doing. Obviously, be passionate about what you're doing. But the reason why I say don't mention your company, and the reason why I say don't brand yourself around your company, is because you never know what's around the corner. Okay? We hope our businesses, we hope we're going to stay in the company we're in for a long time. We hope that, but things happen. People go out of business. Companies go out of business. Compensation plans change. Things change. Our vision changes. You just never know what's around the corner. And you always brand you. Brand you as the #1 priority. Talk about your company as little as you can, really. And that's just going to pique curiosity. So anyway, so you've got your profile set up. You've got everything about you. Okay, the next step is going over to the fan pages like I've described to you and actually finding the people there. Scrolling through, you want to find people who are similar to you, people of a similar age, people with similar interests. They have to be related to you. Related as in relatable interests. Okay, so that's important. Have a look at them and actually think, well, is this someone I'd actually want to meet in real life? Consider whether they have a profile picture. Consider whether they have, appropriate content on the wall? Are they sharing, are they sharing silly cat videos, or are they sharing some inspiring stuff? That's another thing I didn't cover actually. So I'm just going to go back to that. But when you're posting content, okay, you always want to post something that is going to give as much value as possible to your reader. Okay, so that's why I always say post inspiring, valuable information, some training. You want to make it so every single post they see is they're just blown away by it. And that's why I only post once or twice a day. Is just so that's kind of why I get more exposure, because I only have 1 or 2 posts a day. Sometimes more, sometimes I don't. Some days I don't post at all, but generally only 1 or 2 posts per day. So that's really what I do in terms of posting everything. But anyway, going back to attracting people. So you found these people on these fan pages, right? And you do what I did when you tag them. You type the little at symbol on your keyboard, and then you tag their name in it, and you say, "Great comment, bro. Really love what you're doing." Well, just a generic, a message like that, so that they can see that you've read the. Say, "Nice comment, bro." Afterwards, you start liking their stuff, you start interacting with them, and then you send them a message, so that they'll see the message, but they'll see that you've interacted with them, and that means they're more likely to respond. And you see what I did as well within the message? I made it personal to them. So I included. I'd say, "Well, I liked your comment. I like what you said about." And then included what their comment was. So I made it personal to them. It didn't look like a copy and paste message. And there's nothing wrong with copy and pasting messages, but the more personal you make it, the more likely they're going to reply. Okay, I get about a 70 to 80% response rate from people if I send that message. They often end up adding me. People add me this way. I don't even send out friend requests. I don't send out friend requests because Facebook can block you for doing that. And if you're in a short space of time, Facebook can block you for that. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, about getting people to come to you. That's really what I'm doing. Is I'm messaging people saying, being personal with them and just personalizing the message. So once you send that message, and once they've replied and they've said, "Hey, bro, how's it going? Appreciate you reaching out. Wisconsin's the best place I've ever lived in my life. What are you doing?" So at this point, you carry on and just have a normal conversation. You ask them some stuff about themselves. You ask them, "Well, what you up to this weekend?" Or "I can see that's a nice car in your profile picture, or a nice car in your cover photo. How long you driven it? How many miles?" Just have like a normal conversation. This is where so many people get stuck. So once you have this conversation, and you don't want to have this for too long. You don't want this conversation to be just talking about BS the whole time. You're here for business, and this is something that I guess slowed me down, because I would just talk to people, but I wouldn't actually get to the point. So that's something you have to consider as well. You have to get to the point where you say, "Well, okay, so," and then move it on to them and what their problem is in their life, and find out what that is. So once you've had a few conversations, say, "Well, what do you do for work?" "Okay, so you're a full-time engineer and you're part-time in XYZ health company." "Okay, so what made you start a business in the first place? What actually happened in your life? What changed for you that made you seek ways to make money from home?" And they'll tell you, say, "Well, I was made redundant, or I'm going to be made redundant, so this is what I did. Looked online for ways to make money." Say, "Okay, so in terms of the business, what are you doing to get exposure for it?" And they say, "Well, I've really been struggling. I've been struggling to get exposure for it. I've tried handing out leaflets to people. I've tried doing questionnaires. I've tried, I've done things. What I've done so far hasn't worked." And that's what a lot of people have said to me. Probably about 80% of people have just turned around and said, "I'm struggling. I haven't got as many leads as I want. I really need, I'm just struggling, and I'm looking to do something else." And you always want to have an eye out for for when people say things like this to you. You want to have an eye out when they say, pick up what they mean and not what they say. That's an important thing with this. It's actually helpful for you to scroll up and down if you scroll up from the conversation, and if you just note particular things they've said, if they say, I'm struggling to blah blah blah, bear that in mind when you're talking to them. Always note certain things that they say, because you have to understand what they mean. Okay. So moving on from this, you go down the conversation, you have a chat with them, and you say, well, okay, I can see you're struggling with, with generating leads. So, what are you trying to do to remedy that? What's the next thing you need to do to get to the next level in your business? Or even before that, you'd say, well, what are your goals with the business? And they'd say, well, I want to make $1,000 a month the next 6 months, like the example I gave earlier. And you say, okay, so is what you're doing to get exposure now working? Is that helping you to achieve that goal? And they say, well, no. So I'm not able to achieve that goal. And so this is kind of where they say, well, if there was a way for you to get more exposure to your business and to recruit people easier, would that help you to reach your goal? And do you see how this connects? Do you see how if this doesn't make sense, you might have to rewatch this a few times, but you have to ask them what their goal is, and they have to paint a picture in their head of, okay, what am I doing? And then they have to say, well, is handing out leaflets gonna get me there? Is what I'm doing to get leads now gonna get there? And if they say, well, no, it's I'm in a rut, and that's sort of when you can say, well, from what you've told me about you being in a rut, I just want to, I want to throw out there, this is what I'm doing. I'm not actually sure if you're open to our business or not, but this is what we're doing to generate leads. So do you see how this works? You always have to, highlight the pain and then remedy it with pleasure, and say, would you be open to taking a look at a new business that didn't have those obstacles? That a new business that had marketing training. Okay, do you see how that works? And then they say yes, and they say, yeah, I'd be open to that. And you say, would you be up for talking on the phone? Or if you feel there's a good connection, a few conversations before that is when you can pick up the phone and you just say, well, this is my number, what's yours, so I know who's calling? Because some people don't want to talk on the phone straight away, so you should always drop your number first, so they know you're real. Okay. And the reason why I don't like to talk to people on the phone firsthand, because I've been pitched so many times doing that by just saying, yeah, let's talk on the phone. So you want to pre-qualify them to make sure that they're legit and everything. But after like 5 or 6 conversations, then you can actually say, well, let's talk on the phone. And you're going to want to get them on the phone, because if you try and close them over Facebook, I've tried to do that. I've had minimal results. People don't reply to messages and they just forget. But if you actually get them on the phone, you can see if they're serious. You can see if there's really a genuine connection, because talking on Facebook can be a little bit ambiguous at times, because you haven't actually heard their voice, so you don't know if there's a connection as such. So getting them on the phone is going to determine that. You're going to know very quickly whether they really are an ideal candidate for your business. And of course, let's face it, there's a potential they're going to be a long-term business partner. So you're going to want to get them on the phone and get to know them. That's where so many people, they get stuck, and they say, well, I don't want to talk to people on the phone. And they say, well, good. You don't have to talk to people on the phone. You can be an affiliate marketer and make some money. Network marketing is going to involve some phone work. It's going to involve picking up the phone. That's just the end of that anyway. So that's pretty much what I've done to sponsor 2 people this week, and that's it. I feel like I've really covered everything. I've not gone into the intricate details in terms of, I did show you like how I bring people in through Facebook, but there's a lot of other Facebook aspects which I haven't shown you, which really will help you to explode your business. Okay, so that really is everything I've covered. So I really hope that genuinely helps you, because I know a lot of people have been struggling on Facebook, And I was the same when I first got serious about Facebook back in March. I didn't have I didn't have a start to finish guide. I just went out and just bought everything. I was like, well, this product looks good, that product looks good. Look at this, look at that. I'm buying that. I'm buying that. That's what I mean. I actually know my credit card number or my debit card number off by hand because I've just gone and bought so many products, and maybe some of you can relate there. But that's really what I've done in terms of learning these things, and I'm always learning. I've got 2 or 3 Facebook products I'm going through at the moment, so that's how I stay ahead of the curve, and that's really how I've sponsored 2 people into my business this week, and I've got some follow-ups to do tonight, so it might even be free. So that's essentially what I've been doing on Facebook. So I genuinely hope you got some value. Okay, so if you really like this Hangout, if you really like what I share in this Hangout, my team and I actually have a lot of marketing training that we use to grow our businesses. And now I'm not going to drop a link here or anything. I'm not going to give away my company name. But if you're genuinely serious about working with me and seeing how I can help you to grow your business or achieve your dreams and your vision, then I genuinely want to help you. Because like I said, when I first got in the industry, I had no mentor, I had no guidance. I had to do everything from scratch. I mean, do you realize how painful that was to have to, I started in network marketing at 17 years old, having to learn everything from scratch while all my friends are out there having fun. And I had so many late nights, staying up and learning this stuff. I really could have reduced my learning curve by having someone there present who could help me, who could show me the way, rather than me learn everything through trial and error. So what I'm trying to say to you is you need to get a mentor. You need someone who's going to help you and show you the way and show you how to get results like this, even if it's only 2 signups a week. Because a lot of people will never get to that result. And 2 signups a week, it's not just the money, but it's the momentum you're going to build. It's when you get the 2 signups a week, you just get a lot more confident. When you sponsor someone, once you've been able to do it once, you can do it 1,000,000 times because you've already done it. What's the difference? Once you're over that initial hurdle, you're just going to keep going and going, and you're just going to keep following that momentum. So like I said, I really hope you got some value from it. If you did, then let me know. But in terms of actually working with me personally, if you're watching this and you're actually curious as to what I'm doing business-wise, and you're curious as to how our team and our community can help you to grow your business, because we're really big on attraction marketing. So what I've showed you is only scratching the surface of what we can help you with in terms of Facebook, in terms of social media, or in general, really. So if that's something that you're open to, if that's something that you're looking for, then send me an inbox. Like I said, I'm not going to drop a link on this Hangout. You have to inbox me and see if you qualify to work for me. I don't want to take on everyone on board. I don't want to work with everyone, and you should be the same in your business. I'm quite choosy I'm only looking for a specific type of person when it comes to someone I actually work with. But in terms of this Hangout, this really is all I've done to bring in these 2 people. So it's powerful. It's powerful stuff. And I hope you got some value. So if you did, leave me a comment, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. I really do. So like I said, if you want to work with me personally, inbox me and I'll see if you're an ideal candidate for that. Okay, but thank you so much for watching this Hangout. Thank you so much for tuning in. If there's any more, any questions or anything you're not sure about, inbox me and I'll see what I can do to help you out. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.